let's look at naturalism for a minute here. So the basic belief, and this is a metaphysical view, right? Metaphysics, again, is about reality. And the basic core belief is that everything that exists, all of reality, is made up of the natural world. Everything we have here is made up of the natural world. And how do we know about that? Well, we can perceive it through the senses. So this anticipates a theory we'll talk about much later in the class called empiricism, which is a method for finding out the truth of the world by experiment. Aristotle's not quite there yet. He's just saying the world itself exists as it exists. It's only natural stuff. Now, I want to be clear what this suggests. If it's only natural is what exists, that means things like souls, ghosts, gods don't exist. Right? So naturalists, who also, by the way, very many scientists today consider themselves naturalists, they generally don't believe in any sort of supernatural higher level being or existence. It's just the natural world in front of us. Now, to be fair, there are some naturalists who will say, hey, look, I'm open-minded, and the instant that we find evidence for these other things, it will become part of the natural explanation. So, for instance, there would be some who would say our science just hasn't advanced enough to understand, say, multiple dimensions or some sort of mind over matter type of thing. And once our science advances, that will just become natural, right? So there is that question. That's the way some naturalists see it. But in any case, Aristotle's a naturalist. And so for him, that's all we've got. We've got this natural world around us. Now, let me just update naturalism, because naturalists today are not only open-minded often in the way I just mentioned, but it's a much more sexy theory now, if you will. And what I mean by that is that there are things now that we've observed, like black holes and like parallel dimensions, or at least we have some evidence for, and other planets and things like that. For a naturalist, that's all part of his world. It's not like that doesn't exist. Aliens could be part of a naturalist's world if they exist on this plane, on the physical plane. So in other words, whereas naturalism kind of seems like this very cold, oh, you don't believe in some higher realm of reality thing, it's not really like that, because reality itself is so interesting. That's exactly what a naturalist would say. Reality itself is so amazing. And that's what most naturalists say, because it's another argument people present against naturalism is, oh, you must have a really depressed life, because this is the only life you think exists. You don't think you're going to go on to heaven. At first, a naturalist would obviously say, well, that's wishful thinking, because you don't know if you're going on to heaven either, right? But he'd also say that there's meaning on this world, right? There's meaning on this planet. Whether or not there's an afterlife, can you not still learn the classical guitar? Can you not still fall in love? Can you not still learn languages? Can you not still travel to Paris and to Argentina? Can you not still do amazing, amazing things? Can you not still watch the greatest movies that have ever been produced? Can you not still listen to amazing music? All of these things are possible in a naturalist worldview. So the naturalist basically says, there may not be any grand meaning, going back to the distinction I made before, but the naturalist nevertheless says, but there's plenty of meaning here on this planet, and that's good enough for me. So anyways, that's naturalism. Aristotle would have made a lot of those points, but minus the technological advances we've had.